Riot's replay system is here and it's going to change the game. I mean that seriously. It's like a cheat code for improvement, and if you don't use it, you will fall behind. Even though it's one of the worst implementations of a replay system in gaming, I mean seriously, why do I have to watch a fast forward replay every time I click any kind of time skip? But don't worry, in this video, I'll show you how to use the replay system without it being boring and how to actually improve fast by using it. There's so much more you can do than just a standard old VOD review. And we're not here to put socks on caterpillars, so like the video, hit subscribe, and let's dive right in. We're gonna break this video down into a few different sections. Why replays are so valuable, 2, the golden rules for using the replay system like a pro, and 3, the different types of VOD reviews you can use to accelerate your improvement for specific parts of your game. The amount in which you can learn from them in a single replay is crazy. You now have access to full knowledge of the game in your replays. You can not only analyze your decisions, but for the first time ever, your opponent's decisions as well, and the cause-effect relationship between them, which is of possibilities. The age of enlightenment for Valorant is here. No longer are you stuck in the dark ages not knowing if your fake pressure or bait actually worked. Now you can literally just go and check it straight after the game, which makes improving and ranking up a lot easier if you're using this tool and other players aren't. Our first golden rule is to be consistent. If you actually want to improve at an insane rate, then you need to be consistent. Whether it's daily, weekly, or on a per game basis, I want you to set yourself a benchmark. Try to keep to that benchmark, and by doing so, you'll create a habit. Imagine this. You're ready to take your Valorant to the next level. You sit down, you try to VOD review, but you don't know how, and you find it super boring, and it turns you off, and all of a sudden you don't want to do another one. And little did you know, you could have been the next 10s, but you didn't consistently VOD review. But you don't need to want to be the next 10s or a pro player to get a lot out of VOD reviewing. If you have an inconsistent playing schedule, try to do one for every X games you play. Every 5 to 10 games is a good starting place. If you want to see results and also touch grass, maybe 1 to 2 per week. If you're really committed, 1 per day before your daily warm-up. But a whole ass replay review every day? Stack, you can't be serious. That brings us to golden rule number 2. Keep it short and sharp. It's easy to get sucked into a replay review and all of a sudden you've been sitting there for over an hour and your brain hits information overload, and by the time you get to your next game, there's nothing specific to apply. You can't even remember what you thought about during the first round. Instead of reviewing whole matches, set yourself a timer, round limit, or some way to keep things tight so you can get back to grinding the game and then returning to do another replay review tomorrow. And to maximize the efficiency of your replay reviews, get into the habit of marking down rounds in your games that you want to review. Best way to improve is by playing, getting feedback, and iterating. So make sure you stick to that time limit, then get back to the game and apply what you found. Because if all you needed to do was theorize about the game, the Radiant leaderboard would look very different. That's not how you rank up. You can only do that by playing the game. And golden rule number 3, don't do it if you don't want to. Only review if you want to. And only review the stuff you care about. It sounds simple, but if you don't like lurking, don't review your lurk timings. It won't be interesting. Your replay reviews should be consistent with your goals. If you want to get out of bronze, the style of replay and the amount of replay review will be different to someone who's trying to go pro. Don't make it a chore. Do it because it's interesting, or because you like learning, or because you want to improve. And if your goal is improve, pick the things that are interesting to you so that you're more likely to stay with it. And if you don't know what to review, well, you're in luck, because one of the best ways to implement all of these golden rules is to have focused topic style reviews, which have the benefits of being short and sharp and focused on the specific topics that you're interested in, and it can introduce variety, which helps with being consistent. One of the best ways to improve anything is targeted practice of something specific. If you try and improve everything at once, it'll take so much longer to improve, and your actual VOD reviews will take forever. They'll be as boring as batshit, and you'll give up on doing them because you won't see improvement. So each session, pick a focused topic. Some examples include crosshair placement, spacing and trading, macro, util efficiency, and more. Today, I'm going to show you 3 different types of replay review that are going to give you maximum gains in different areas. I'd recommend saving this video so you can easily find it the next time you want to do a replay review, so you can come back for a refresher on how to do each different style when you want to do them. And while you're there, don't forget to click the subscribe button, you know? Let's begin with a rival review, because it utilizes the biggest benefit of the replay system versus just recording your game, and it's always a great type of review to fall back on when you don't have something super specific in mind. VOD reviewing becomes a lot more simple and streamlined with the replay system, but if you only watch your POV, you're not really getting anything new. And you can learn so much by watching your opponent's POV, especially your rival's POV. And this type of replay review is really easy to get started with because it will show you exactly what to look for and when it happens. So to start a rival review, go to the match you want to review and check the performance tab. Find out who you had the most engagements with or who you died to the most. Either option is fine. To save time, click on the row to reveal the drop down of all your engagements and quickly mark down all the rounds where you fought. Then jump into the replay. Now skip along the timeline to your first engagement with your Marvel rival. Oops, wrong game.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
With all of these engagements, you want to prioritize 1, your deaths, and 2, your opponent's POV. You already saw your death live in 4K during the match. What's going to help you improve is studying your opponents. There's nothing quite like watching yourself die to humble you a little bit. And for our second type of replay review, we're going to use this structure of learning from your opponent's POV to improve your lurk timing. Replays are like a bloody cheat code for learning how to improve them. Now, the best lurk in an ideal situation is one where you can get the timing of pushing into a dangerous space as soon as it's left unguarded. If you like to lurk, you can improve your lurk timings rapidly by using the replay system, so here's how to do it. Open up your replay, go through all of the rounds where you lurk. To actually track if you're improving, first use a notepad and lay out all the rounds. Every round you lurked, write the time that you pushed an angle that was or is typically held by defenders. Write the time that defenders left that angle open for you to push and calculate the difference. If you got caught on a lurk, this will appear as a negative number. If you peek exactly as they turn away to rotate, then it'll be exactly 0 seconds. Then average out the number of all your detected lurks. Your goal is to continually improve that number over time and get it as low as possible. For more advanced information about your lurk effectiveness, you can also count if you actually won the round and if you got a kill. There's no point being a Lurk and Leonard every game if you have no impact. At the start of this round, I see Fade and Clove Util on A, and I'm cycling my Viper Util on A to create pressure, with the hope that it can create a gap in mid for me to lurk through. So that's what I do. I lurk up through mid, and here's how you can analyze those lurks. You see Raze leaves this angle at 103. I get onto this angle 6 seconds after. Now that's pretty good timing. So far so good, but what you'll see as I push up into heaven, I'm really worried about a stairs push. Honestly, in this game, I didn't realize Fade was on B, even though she'd used her ult and her haunt. That's one thing you can take away, is to have more awareness of the minimap. That potentially would have influenced my decision making, which could have been really important, because you see right now it's 50 seconds. Raze and Fade are both looking at B main because my teammates are making a lot of noise. I decide to push downstairs into spawn, just partly because I was filming with this video in mind. And it ends up being a great example of showing you how you can waste your lurks after starting them off so well. It ends up taking me 25 seconds to impact this fight. Both my teammates died of Fade on site. If I had peeked through rafters, I would have been able to get a double kill at about 48 seconds. But instead, I wasted that 6-second gap timing that I had. Notice it's important to play off your teammates on these lurk timings, because as soon as my teammates die, what is the first thing that Fade does? She looks up to heaven. Where is that Viper lurking? Use this focus topic in your replays to get those lurk timings down and start having more impact with them and not wasting the gaps that you find. The difference in this round would be, instead of being in a 1v1 situation versus Clove, we'd be in a 1v3 with Gecko and Raze still alive. And for our third type of review, we're going to go over a very important skill, spacing and trading. To do this review, simply go through a replay and look at every time a teammate near you dies. Were you in a position to trade? Were you thinking about the trade? Did you swing together? And while all of this is great, your spacing to your teammates is something that you can control when playing to trade them. But what about when they need to trade you? Were you in a position that was tradable? Improving your awareness of your spacing when you're ahead of your teammates is a lot harder than when you're behind them and you can see them in front of you. But it's what can separate good duelists from bad ones, because even if you don't have the most successful entry, if you at least think ahead and plan for how you might be traded, your teammates can capitalize on it, and that can change the whole round. Literally just running out and living on backside for as long as possible on Neon makes it so easy for your teammates to take sight. Same for Jet living inside her smokes. These kind of things help improve your spacing and your trading rate. So let's have a look at some of those rounds. So when doing a spacing and trading replay review, your goal is to find out which fights you could have taken with a teammate instead of solo. But you're never allowed to blame your teammates if you end up in a bad position. And this first example is a great highlight of that. I get an opening kill behind this one way in B main, then immediately smoke off the B entrance to stall. Raze and I are holding this crossfire and it looks all hunky-dory. But what ends up happening is the enemy Sage lurked all the way through garage to top mid. And so Sage decides that she needs to leave to go and cover that. But that means Sage is going to go take a 1v1 and I'm left in a 1v1 at best as well. And this corner that I'm in is a one and done, plus they know exactly where I am. So it's a really bad spot to be. And you can see I get punished for it. Now the easy thing to do here is blame Raze for leaving and say, well, if Raze didn't leave, then I wouldn't be left in this bad situation and we'd still be playing in our crossfire. But instead, we need to figure out why we're in this position and what we can do to avoid it. You always want to play in positions where you can play off of your teammate and don't trust them to do the same for you. So when I smoked B main, instead of putting myself into a vulnerable corner, I should take that chance to reposition. I can still play off of Raze by repositioning to stairs or moving more towards market. And recognizing that we're playing against a Phoenix means that I shouldn't be playing out in the open anyway. There we go. We already have one lesson learned. Repositioning towards more flexible positions with our teammates. Okay, so now we can come into the second round. You can see this fight here, I make a conscious effort to be well spaced with Chamber as he takes this duel in mid. Then I move on because we've got to get towards A. We're losing space and time. I see that Raze is already exposed on the angle, so I get onto the angle to trade with her. I know that the enemy Raze is likely going to be peeking from main very soon because we saw her in tiles and scared her off. Then I see Raze swinging and tried to trade her and end up dying. Now, the easy thing to do here is to say, oh man, well, that's just unlucky timing. But there's 3 questions that you need to ask yourself. Firstly, was my spacing good? Pretty happy with the way I adjusted my spacing to help us get the kill on Reyna, but then my focus became about holding for Raze because I was expecting her to swing. Then my teammate Raze decided to swing site. This was not something that I was focused on, so my spacing with Raze had become poor and it was no longer something that I should have tried to trade. Don't try and make up for the mistakes of your teammates. If I just let Raze die, I would have survived, especially because Yori was behind me and we had good spacing for the enemy Raze's swing from main. We could have killed this Raze together and then focused on the Clove on side, which would have made this round a 4v2 instead of a 2v4. If you'd like some other ways to do replay reviews, let us know in the comments. Make sure you check out some of our other videos.